Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Deziel and today I'm going to show you how to do the matching sleeve for the shirt block that we did last time. Let's start the sleeve shirt on a new piece of paper and start by folding your paper in half. Then on the fold line, just indicate 2 points for the sleeve length. For basic sleeve, the length would be 58 centimeters. Now at the bottom, you're going to square a line, and this is going to be your wrist. So a basic wrist is 22 centimeters. Since my paper is folded, I'm going to put 11 centimeters and add the pleat that we want at the bottom of the sleeve. And I'm going to add a pleat of 2 centimeters. That's double because I have it also on the other side of the sleeve. The next thing you need is to trace your bicep line. So you have to find out the height of the sleeve head. And this comes from your bodice block. So take your front and your yoke, and you're going to place the seam line on top of the seam line, since we have part of the front on the yoke. And you're going to measure from the original shoulder point of the front to the bust level, so this area, and you're going to subtract 5 centimeters, and this is going to be the measurement of the sleeve head. Right now I have 15 centimeters, so I'm going to place from the sleeve head 15 centimeters and square a line. To trace the sleeve head, we're also going to need the bodice block because we did put the measurement on the armhole. So I have 24 for my front and I have 23.5 for my back. You're going to add your 2 measurements and divide it by 2. Now you're going to take this measurement and put it from 0 at the sleeve head until your measurement touch the bicep line. And trace. Now you'll be able to connect this new underarm point to the bottom of the sleeve. Until there, the sleeve is symmetrical, but now it's time to make the difference between the back and the front. So you're going to trace your corners to report them on the other side. Then it's time to trace the curve of the sleeve head. So decide which side is your back and which side will be your front. I'm going to be starting on the back, where you have to divide the segment in 3. At the first third from the top, you're going to go up 1.5, and between the last third to the underarm point, you're going to go down 0.7. Pretty much halfway. Then you could trace from the sleeve head touching the 1.5, and then from the first third to the second third, and you continue touching the 0.7 until the underarm point. In the front, a little bit different, you're going to divide your segment by 4. Then at the first quarter you go up 1 centimeter, and last quarter you go down 1 centimeter, and then you trace your curve from the top, touching the 1 centimeter up, touching the middle point, and continue touching the 1 cm down to the underarm point. Now we have one thing left to do. It's to positionate the notch, and they have to be according to what you did on your bodice. You take your back measurement from the underarm point to the notch, and you report it the same way on your sleeve pattern. The second notch on the back is 1 centimeter higher, and in the front you take your measurement and you report it the same way you took it. Now the last notch we need is the notch for the sleeve head. So you take the difference between the front and the back. Here my back was 5 millimeters smaller, so you're going to go half the difference, this is my difference, half the difference towards the smallest size. In that case, it's my back. So I'm going to put my notch 0.25 towards the back. Now let's do the bottom of the sleeve. You remember we did have pleat, 2 centimeter pleat, but on both sides, so we have 4 centimeter extra for pleat, for 2 pleats. And what you're going to do, you're going to divide your bottom line by 4. So you find the quarter of your sleeve, and the first quarter in the back, you're going to trace a line for the slit or the opening of the sleeve. And this should be about 7 centimeters, 7 or 8 centimeter. I'll do 8 right now. So square up 8 centimeter. And on the same line, you're going to go down for the little extra about 1.5 centimeter. Now on the quarter of the front, you could keep it at the same level or go up a little bit. In that case, I will go up 0.5. Then you're going to shape the middle part of the sleeve to connect the front area with the back area. Just do like an S shape. Now at this point, we have to finish the curve line and bring it all the way to the underarm seam. So I'm going to ask you to go down about 5 millimeter and square for a little while. So you could continue your line until the front point. Same thing on the back side, about 5 millimeter square, and continue to your back. Now last thing to do at the bottom is to create the 2 pleat that we need. So I'm going to positionate mine about 1.5 centimeter towards the front from the back slit. So this is the position of my first pleat. I have 2 pleats of 2 cm, so I'm measuring 2 cm there. This is 1 pleat. The distance between the pleat, let's say another 1.5 centimeter. And then I do my second pleat 2 cm. Now to fix the line at the bottom, because we're going to do pleat, I suggest you do your pleat following the little arrows, so you fold towards the back, both of them. Then fix your line and trace your jug. We did complete the sleeve pattern. Now we need to do the matching cuff. So for the cuff, you're going to trace a straight line of the final measurement, so without the pleat. My measurement was 22 centimeter. And the width of the cuff, in that case, I want it to be finished 5 centimeters, so I'm going to measure 10. Because the cuff is double. Close the line, and I'm going to put the grain line that is going to be parallel to the length. Of course, the cuff is going to be cut 2 and also cut 2 in fusing. Then you could put your seam allowance all around. Now I'm also going to put the seam allowance around my sleeve. And cut all around. As well as my cuff. Now I'm still missing one piece for my sleeve to be complete. It's the little bias that we will sew around the sleeve opening. And to do it, you're going to need the length of your opening. I had 8 centimeter plus my seam allowance, and I'm going to give an extra 5 millimeter. So altogether here 9.5. And I'm going to double this measurement to do my little bias piece because it's going on both sides of the opening. 9.5 twice. The width of the bias is according, I would say, to your ability for the sewing. narrower is the bias, harder it is for sewing. So for this one, I'll do it 3.5 wide. What I usually do, I already put the angle of the bias, so it's easy to put on the grain line. So if your bias is 3.5, you go out 3.5. And if you connect the corners, so opposite corner connected, you have your angle to place it on the fabric. This little bias is going to be cut 2, and your grain line is the bias. So you'll complete your shirt sleeve pattern by doing the bias piece for the opening, the cuff, and the pattern of the sleeve. Now before to let you go, I'm going to ask you to cut both sides of the little slit, so it will be easier for you to trace it on your fabric and to cut it, because you could, and remove the little middle part, so you could either trace or lift one side when it's time for cutting. That's it for today. To complete this shirt, you're going to need a collar, or a two-piece collar, or an open or closed shirt collar, even a Peter Pan collar. So you might want to look at the link that I put in the description below. And I see you next time. Thanks for watching.